Welcome to the third part of making a comic book from start to finish in 3 days. Now that I have hopefully successfully, clickbaited you into coming back for day 3, in the previous video I mentioned that I made a huge mistake. But before that, recap of day 1 and day 2 first.
For those of you who are too fucking busy, here's what happened last week.
So day 1, we did the character design and script for the comic book. Day 2, we did the line art and the storyboard. At the end of day 2, I mentioned that I made a huge mistake after doing the line art. And that is such a huge mistake that I made. And it's that I am not eligible to participate in the competition that I was planning to make this entire comic for. Yeah. So, let me explain what happened. When I was reading the rules, I only thought that the rules were limited to the entries format. So I read the rules about the format of the story and the comic panel sizes and like the page limit. And I did not think there would be other special rules to participating in the contest. At the end of day 2, once I made my account on Tapash, whatever, I read like a tiny part about geographical restrictions. And the country I live in right now, it's not a part of the competition. I'm not eligible to participate in the competition. And when I tell you that was such a depressing realization, like literally, I lost all motivation to do this comic book because the depressive thoughts in my head, they made me really hate that I put in so much effort for something that was going to be useless. And it's not like I knew 100% that I was going to participate and win this competition anyway. I don't think it was that. I wasn't that like cocky or confident about it. But it's like when you have a goal in mind and suddenly it's stripped away from you, I guess, you lose that motivation of that goal that you are working towards. Yes, I was planning to make this YouTube video, but the YouTube video was based around the contest. And since the contest I wasn't eligible for anymore, I had this sort of identity crisis about what I was going to do. Because honestly, like, I didn't even know if anyone was going to watch this video. So in my mind, I was like, what's even the point? What's even the point of putting in 28, 36 hours into a YouTube video about making a comic when no one's going to read the comic and no one's going to watch the video? And I know it's such a depressing thought. And honestly, it was like, to be very frank and real with you, day 3, which was like going to be the final day, where I was just going to have to do the coloring, which was not going to be that hard because I already knew what I was planning to do. I didn't have any motivation, any reason to do it because I thought it's pointless. Day 3 went by, day 4 went by, day 5, 6, 7 went by without me doing anything, without me doing any kind of work at all. Yeah, like, I had no motivation to do this video, to do this comic book at all. And then on Monday of that week, I got an email from my lab supervisor about a volunteer project. And he asked me if, okay, yeah, do you want to volunteer because I could really use the help. And since in my mind I thought, yeah, I don't have anything other to do, anything better to do, I said yes, and I started working with him for that week. And the next week, I did not touch my comic book at all for the past, I guess, almost 2 weeks after that. So like almost 20 days, I think. I had no motivation. I had no reason to do this at all. And I was struggling mentally with that fact. I felt horrible, yes. But I watched I went to a friend's house and I watched one of my most favorite movies. It's called Nil Bate Sannata. And it's a motivational movie. It's an Indian movie in Hindi. It's about this mother who joins the school her daughter goes to because she wants her daughter to focus on her academics, but she's not educated. So she thinks that if she goes to school as well, she can teach her daughter because she can't afford after school classes for her daughter. And it's such a motivational story about the mother and the daughter, like reconciling about their differences, the daughter finding the motivation to work hard because she feels like because the daughter in before thinks that there's no point in doing anything, in doing any work because she's the daughter of a low income maid and she'll grow up to become a low income maid herself. But the story progresses to her getting motivation to work hard, to be better, to make a life for herself, for her mother, because her mother believes in her so much, and that motivates her to believe in herself. And that movie, if I'm being honest, like, yeah, it made me realize I can't judge myself or I can't make these kinds of presumptions about the potential of my work or about the potential of my comic book. I can't not make stuff because I think no one is going to watch or no one is going to read the comic. So, what I decided to do was make the comic anyway. This time, not for any competition, not for any views, any clout, any like fame or anything, but because I wanted to give myself the opportunity to do better, because I wanted to give myself the opportunity to finish a task and feel good about the fact that I did something. And so, little by little, I finished the comic. I did not do the coloring in one day. I'm going to be honest, because the first day I barely did one page. Because even though I had, like, in my mind decided that I was going to finish this comic, I did not have that kind of motivation to finish it entirely. Even doing the first page felt so painful for some reason. I felt so tired. I felt so exhausted. And yeah, but I did the first page that one day. The next day I did another page. And then the other day another page. One day I did 2 pages and then in the last day I think I did 3 pages. And also did the bubbles, like the writing in the bubbles. And yeah, the comic was complete. And once the comic was finally complete, I felt so happy that I made this. It made me feel so good, actually. And I am glad that I stuck to it, that I did not give up. And even if no one reads the comic, I'm satisfied with myself. So I'm just going to briefly mention the coloring, the method I used for coloring the comic. I don't think it's really that important, but I'm going to mention it anyway. And it's basically I would put in a base color. I would then use that same base color and use a multiply layer for the shadows, and that same base color I would then use a screen layer for the light. And that gave a very nice effect, a very children bookish effect. I did not do any blending. I did not have the motivation or the time to do any blending. Yeah, the backgrounds are simple. It's the same method. I kept the background and the foreground on the separate layers, and that really allowed me to work on the backgrounds without being worried about ruining the foreground, and working on the foreground without being worried about ruining the background. Overall, it went well. Yeah, like I think overall it was very good, and all of the layers came out really nicely. All of the comic pages turned out really good, in my opinion. Yeah. There was one other thing I wanted to mention, but I forgot. I don't remember anymore. It was something helpful. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyways, if I can't remember, it's probably not as important as I think it is. Yeah. So once the comic was finished, the last thing was, where do I publish this comic book? Because I do have it, but where do I want to publish it? In the beginning, I was like, since this is for Tapash, whatever, I could publish it there. But then I watched some videos and everyone kept saying that, oh, Tapash is really bad and it's not the best platform for comic books, especially for new creators who have no following already. So then I thought maybe, okay, I can publish on Webtoon because I know Webtoon is really popular. But then the narrative, or I guess the popular opinion is that Webtoon is better for people who like have a schedule, who have an ongoing comic, I guess, a comic that has more chapters, a weekly release, or some kind of like timed release. And of course, mine is just a one shot. It's a one and done, if you will, because I don't know if I will be pursuing any project as big as this for a while, because this was already draining as it was. I think my next videos will be a bit more easier than this one, because this video was a lot of effort compared to, I guess, the product. I don't know. I'm not going there actually. Yeah, so what was I about to say? Yeah, so then I found a really helpful video. Hopefully, if I have the screenshot of it, then I can mention it somewhere or a link. And it basically said that the best place to publish your comic is a social media platform for a beginner. So something like Instagram or YouTube. So then I was like, I'm already making a video, so I'll just put the comic at the end of this video. So yes, the comic will be at the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoy the comic, and please let me know your thoughts. I will also be uploading the pages on Instagram. So if you would like to see the pages themselves, the character design sheets and stuff, please go to my Instagram. It's Broke Weirdo. I don't think there's any other Broke Weirdo on Instagram who looks like me, I mean. So please go check that out. And you will see the comic in 3, 2, 1. So if you stuck around to the end of the video, I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much. If you liked the video, please give a like, a subscribe if you want to watch more content like this. If you enjoyed my personality, my radiant personality, then please do make sure to follow. And also, if you watched all 3 parts, thank you so much. I am so grateful. I hope you enjoyed them. Please let me know that you watched all 3 parts or how many ever parts you watched by commenting like 3 hearts for 3 parts, 2 for 2, 1 for 1. Any acknowledgement would be like mean the world because it it would really give me a lot of motivation and a lot of spirit to keep going. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Love you.
Goodbye. Goodbye, world.